experience. I'm not knocking it, but I don't think it did me any favours at all.
Was it nerve-wracking experience?
It was a little bit, but it was. I was lucky because they filmed it at the Apollo in Manchester, and I'd already done a couple of charity gigs there, so I sort of knew it's quite an intimidating place from the stage. So I already knew what the place was like. So I was slight advantage, but.
Did they have warm-up comedians before?
No, I mean I was on first on the night as well.
Oh,
yeah, and then they don't show it in that order on the McIntyre. It just.
They do more than one in one night, don't they? Do they?
They probably do now, or they did do. They started doing, but yeah, they didn't at the time.
How does that compare to doing something like the Edinburgh Fringe one? Is that that must be a lot more crowded because it's the Fringe and.
It's fine. You've got 5.5 minutes max. The Fringe one, the show on BBC Three. It's for charity as well, so you're not getting a fee for it. You've got 5.5 minutes max. It's beautiful, and everybody wants you to do well who's in that theatre. It's just full of goodwill. Nobody's there wanting anybody to fail badly. So it's a nice one to do. It's a really nice one to do.
And they don't edit them down or anything, do they?
Yeah, we do. You got like 5.5 minutes max, and they edit them down to about 3.5, 4 minutes. 4 minutes max. But, they can only put so many in a slot. An half-hour slot.
What's the routine about getting a dog drunk?
To be honest, I can't remember. It's about coming in, piss myself, and then pretending to play war games with the dog. But my dog texting. So I can't remember. Do you know what? I can't remember what it was. I've not done it since that recording actually. So I don't know. I'd have to watch it to find out.
So how much material would you say? Do you do the Fringe every year?
No, I'm not doing it this year, but I've done it every year since 2009. So.
Is that always a new hour every year?
Yeah. Although last year was a bit of a greatest hits, and never done one properly before, so I did that, which I had a bit of fun with. But there was a lot of stuff I'd written as well for it, but I'm not doing it again. That's it. I'm done with it.
Did you like doing the Fringe?
Yeah.
How come?
The only reason I was doing it really was for my own benefit, because I was writing a new hour every time I did it. And luckily, I don't tour. I don't do any touring because I'm not a name. I can't tour the world, and his dog's touring. It's pointless. If I try to tour, you're just fighting with a load of other acts for the same audiences, the same towns, small towns around the country. And I don't get any benefit out of it. This makes me sound a little bit bitter, but it's a bit. I'm 47 now, so I'm probably too old for the Edinburgh Fringe. They don't want to. Nobody's going looking at anybody in the 40 plus category. They're looking at some 23-year-old kid who's got a lot of stories about funny things his friend says or things that happened at gigs.
Yeah.
That's how he fills his hour. So good luck to him. And they look good. Maybe facially, might look good on TV. So that's what Edinburgh's. Of course it is. It's a bit of a meat market, really. But
it's not always that financially doesn't work out.
Financially, it's disastrous. You always lose money unless you're a big name. You can't make money up there unless you're a big name. What I would miss about it is there's a social aspect to it. It's nice. It's good.
You're catching up with all your mates. You wouldn't normally be gigging in the same place.
Yeah, you've got a month as well. You're based in a place for a month as well, and it's a beautiful city as well. I do prefer it. I do prefer the city outside of the festival. I do get annoyed, but during the festival, you get stressed a little bit. But yeah, I enjoyed last year. I did my show. I was in a play.
What was the play?
It was called Scenes of Essential Nature, written by Jo Romero. She wrote this. It's like a series of sketches put together as a play. And I was in Funs and Games 2s. We did the second Funs and Games, so that was fun. That was nice.
So you were always doing something every day, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I was doing 3 things a day. Then not other shows. So that's the best way to be in Edinburgh. Is busy.
Yeah.
Busy because it's a lot of killing time otherwise, and that's what can lead to trouble.
Yeah. Do you find that you've seen a lot over the years, sort of comedians become self-destructive and bitter?
I can see how you can fall into it.
Yeah.
It's very easy. I've come close a couple of times to.
Me too, especially recently looking at my Facebook.
I know. It's very easy to fall into, but you just.
But you've got to realise logically what it is. It's just says more about yourself, or how you feel about things.
Yeah, exactly.
But now onto other people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very. You can very easily become bitter in this game, and a lot of people have, sadly.
I think they lose something about their funniness then, if they do.
Yeah, sometimes it might do. It might affect them. I think it affects your own health and well-being more than anything. But there's some comics. Who are bitter, and I think a few of them are quite right there. So they've had some shitty things happen to them, or they've been
missed an opportunity just by
basically. So you sort of think, all right, fair enough, but you can. But stop mentioning it now. A few years ago, just
can't take out what everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Let it go now. It's gone. And I feel sorry for you, but you've got to let it go now. It's over. It's done.
Because that's one thing about resentment. Was even being in sort of going to these support group meetings for the alcohol and stuff. They talk a lot about letting go of resentment. And it's a tough thing to do because logically that you have to, but it's a feeling, isn't it?
It's a feeling as well, and also it's. I think sadly it becomes a driving force for some people.
Yeah.
It can be the reason why some people end up getting out of bed in the morning because they've got to prove somebody wrong. They've got to get back at somebody for whatever perceived sense of misinjustice that has gone on there. You're right. I think it's sometimes harder not to become bitter because it's easier. Yeah, a couple of times I've become very close to throwing all the toys out of the pram and going, oh, fuck off, everybody can fuck off now. But
it's such a random industry as well. It's not like any other job.
No.
People get ahead for all sorts of reasons.
Exactly, yeah. It's and it depends what you want. I mean, I suppose I achieved my goal when I started out. I mean, my ambition when I started was just to make a living doing stand-up. But then everything else comes with that. The opportunities of fame and fortune and money. I mean, to be honest, some of the money the comics have made the last few years, I won't mind a piece of that.
Yeah.
Fucking too right. Christ, just the 1 year in their shoes would sort me out forever for the rest of my life.
Do you see fame change a lot of that? Because they change.
I don't know. Maybe, but people who become famous aren't on the circuit anymore. So they more or less become lone wolves, don't they?
Unless they're a sort of TV actor and they do stand up.
So you don't see much of them. So I don't know. Maybe it's a hard one to you don't see them all the time. So
can you tell? Does that annoy you, the people that use it just as a platform to get their own sort of TV show? Can you tell like more an actor than like?
Well, there's quite a lot of comics who are actors before they start. I don't think we've quite got that American model yet. You don't get it's not that step in. The idea was in America, you boom, hit the clubs and then you get your TV show, a sitcom based around your life. That was the idea behind it. And it doesn't really happen like that here. So it's not many take it as a stepping stone. Like a classic example who did really well out of it, but who always was an actor, is Kevin James, who ended up doing King of Queens. I mean, you ever see him? Did you ever see his stand-up?
A little bit of it, yeah. It was very physical.
Very physical, theatrical.
Yeah, a lot of act out.
Not funny, but it was quite clear that's what he was aiming for. It was just, and it worked for him.
Yeah.
He ended up with his own. On King of Queens.
King of Queens. Yeah.
And did some appalling films.
Yeah. He's in that Pixels. Apparently that was awful.
Is it?
Adam Sandler.
Oh right.
His films just get brutalised now, don't they?
Yeah, because they're terrible. The best film he made, and then he fucking ruined it. The one he did about stand-up.
Funny People.
If he died in that, but that's his ego won't even let him die in a fucking film.
What do you mean if he died in it? Sorry.
If his character had died.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, that film would have been doubly better.
That's a good point. Yeah.
He should have died. He should have died bitter. He should have died with that bitterness surrounding him. That's how it should have happened. But no, because
I thought with that film, well, he's moving on to doing deeper things now, and then he just went back to doing this kind of comedies.
Yeah, no.
I mean, his comedies can be funny. I did like Waterboy and Wedding Singer and stuff.
Yeah, I like
Waterboy because I like Henry Winkler. And I thought I'd seen him play an uncool character.
Yeah. I've not much time for his films, to be honest. Little Nicky and all that, terrible.
What about Punch from?
So I didn't even his some of his sketches I see on Saturday Night Live weren't even that good.
Punch Drunk Love. Did you watch that?
Yeah,
quite like that.
Yeah, I liked Happy Gilmore. What else did I like? There is a couple of and that one where he's a stand-up. If he died, that would have been great. That would have been a perfect film, but he didn't. Yeah, he couldn't even die in that. Not even die in that.
What about? Do you like people like who else? David Spade. I always found his stand-up quite funny. His persona I've always liked.
David Spade. Oh, he did the films with Chris Farley, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, and he's had a lot. He seems to have a lot of. He's in a lot of sitcoms in America
that are mediocre, kind of.
Yeah, like
8 Simple Rules.
8 Simple Rules.
Rules of Engagement.
Rules of Engagement.
A lot of rules.
Yeah, a lot of rules, and there's a couple more he turns up, and yeah, I've never seen him do stand-up. I don't know what his stand-up's like.
He's got an hour on YouTube. It's quite funny.
Yeah,
he does a bit about if he's at a party and people are doing like heroin or something.
Yeah.
But they'll offer him some and he's never taken heroin and he'll be like, I'm cool, maybe later. But try to be hip about it, which is quite funny. But yeah, the acting that you've done, what was your first sort of acting thing that you've done?
Probably school, like a lot of kids, productions at school. I did theatre studies for a short spell when I left school. I did a YTS hairdressing course, left that to do a theatre studies course because you'll find out you can get a grant. Just wanted money, so did that for not even a year, and then tried joining the army. Then I ended up working at holiday camps, not as a red coat or anything like that.
I don't know if I could do that. I've always fancied it, but I don't know how.
What?
Being a red coat.
Oh, the I'm not sure what they're like now, but the time I hated them. They were soulless, vacuous.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's not the type of thing for a sensitive artist type.
Well, yeah, I mean, I even at that age, I remember I was 18, I was working at these holiday camps and I'd be looking at these people and going, how needy have you got to be? What the fuck is wrong? What's going on in your life? I mean, I had quite a tough upbringing, quite poor, but why do you want this attention? What the fuck? Really? What kind of background are you from? Why don't you just work? Do something proper instead of... And just this fake jolliness.
My mate,
they were always the... it's never happened, but I'd never want it to happen, but I'm surprised it's never been a red coat that's gone on a killing spree. A holiday camp. It's got to be. There's got to be somebody there who's my age, who's been doing it for 20 odd years, never got on fucking TV.
Sick of this fucking music.
Yeah, sick of this, pretending to be fucking Al Jolson and people like that, and then just has saved up.
Gun, kids.
Yeah. Is that your daddy? Bang. Not anymore. Then just go on a rampage. I'm surprised it's not happened.
I remember seeing a comedian once. My mate worked in a holiday camp, and I went to visit him. There was this comedian on, and he was complaining. He was opening sort of bit was that he doesn't normally do these types of gigs, which probably means he does.
Wow.
And then I can't even remember his name. It was years ago. And then he'd done this bit, which is quite a good joke from what I remember. And then he went, "You'll see all the TV comics doing that, nicking it off me." He was just so bitter.
Fucking hell, who was that?
I can't remember his name. It was years ago.
Wow. These.
But he done a joke about it was something about how watching Countdown. He had an orgasm, 8 words, not bad, or something.
Right. Fucking hell, it's not his. Have you heard the Mike Gunn story?
No.
Well, Mike Gunn used to do the Undertaker character, where he's dressed as the Undertaker. And I think there were Johnless gigs. They were doing some at the Butlins camps. They were trying it out. This is probably about 15 years ago. I mean, it's probably before I was getting regular paid work or anything. But he said he was there dressed as the Undertaker, and he's on stage. He said he's dying on his ass. He's at this Butlins camp. It's all these people who are not interested in that kind of humour. They want the mother-in-law stuff, and all of a sudden he gets this heckle, and somebody shouts, a bloke shouts like, "Oi mate," and he says, "What?" He said, this guy says to him, "What's black and hangs from a cunt?" So Mike thinks, "Oh, this guy's going to be racist. All right, okay, I'll let him be racist because he's the one who looks stupid." So he says, "I don't know, pal. What is black and hangs from a cunt?" And this guy says, "Your tie." He said he got the biggest laugh of the night, and he just used that to walk off. And went, right, I've been Matt Gunn tonight.
Whoa! Whoa, look out for those explosions, Robin.
Oh, gee, I'm finding it really difficult to hear how amazing this current podcast is, Ian.
I know, tell me about it, because we're here currently trapped in the war zone, coming to you live.
It's the famous war zone where, Jesus, we're in. Oh, this is all kicking off, Ian.
Look out, he's got a stick.
We're just here very quickly, but hopefully we'll be able to do the next one. With me and Ian here.